Assalamualaikum and hello, a very good morning to everyone. Thank you for gracing us with your presence in these meaningful forums. Your decision to lend us your ears today is truly appreciated. We are so happy you could join us today as we talk about mapping to the road of zero hunger. Did you ever know that nearly 1 in 10 people around the world go to bed hungry each night? However, there is huge amount of the food we produce is going uneaten. This food waste has effect into our economy and nature. Ladies and gentlemen, did you ever imagine a world where stomach is filled when there is no single people cry due to the reason there is lack of food to eat? This may seem an ambitious dream, but let me assure you, it is far from impossible to achieve. I know what you're thinking. What is actually zero hunger? In simple terms, well, it is like a big goal set by countries worldwide to make sure no one goes to bed hungry. It is among a series of objectives known as the Sustainable Development Goals. Why then is there zero hunger? It is because there are people who, for a variety of reasons, don't have enough to eat. For example, they may not have enough money or may find it difficult to obtain food. This has an impact to their health, education, employment, and social development. Our conversation today serves as a guide to assist us determine how to ensure that everyone eats enough. This forum will aim to reveal the actual fact about the word hunger, study the consequence of its strategy to eradicating world hunger, and identify what is the barriers that stand in the way of this noble objective. First of all, I would like to introduce our panelists for today. Our first panelist is charismatic Miss Lee Zinji, a dedicated member of World Food Program. Miss Lee, we are eager to hear from you. How has your day been so far?
It was great. How about yours?
Alhamdulillah, it's great too. Now, let's welcome our second panelist, Miss Vivian, a valued member of the volunteer team at the UN World Food Programs. Miss Vivian, we are thrilled to have you here. Thank you for being with us today.
And thank you for the invitation. I can't wait to share my opinion and experience with everyone here.
Our third panelist, Ms. Izzati Inshira, an accomplished agriculturist from the agriculture, research and advisory sector. Ms. Izzati, it is a pleasure to have your expertise with us today. How are you today?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good. Thank you, our lovely moderator.
Wrapping up our distinguished panel, we have the brilliant Miss Amira Hazira, a technologist and innovation expertise. We are eager to hear your insight, Miss Amira. How was your day?
Good. Thank you, moderator.
Without further ado, let's dive into our discussion. First of all, I would like to hear from Ms. Lee about the latest update on the progress toward our zero hunger goals.
Thank you, moderator. So, world hunger has been a significant issue since records began. Last century, mankind has made a huge stride towards solving the crisis. But more needs to be done. The world produces enough food to feed all inhabitants, yet millions of children still go to bed hungry every night. The sheer number of people who suffer from hunger is staggering. According to the latest research by the Food and Agriculture Organization, 828 million people are hungry worldwide. So this is an issue that has to be solved. And I would like to also use the opportunity to promote the idea that if you are interested and want to help those in hunger, you can also visit our official website and make your donation.
We are also thrilled to know about the ground experience of supporting communities. So, Ms. Vivian, could you share with us your valuable experience from participating volunteer programs?
I would like to share my experience as a UN volunteer. Before this, I have worked as a volunteer for an emergency relief group after the 2015 Nepal earthquake. And this experience made me realize that there's still a significant gap exists in terms of social standing, and there are still many people in need of help. So this became the reason for me to work as a UN volunteer in Nepal. And my work as a member of this volunteer program recently is to bridge the gap between knowledge acquisition and knowledge sharing. So we are here to support our program unit in reaching zero hunger by providing the data, evidence, and the lesson that we learn from here. So due to the impact of COVID-19 previously, the most vulnerable children living in poor households are left with no choice but to skip their meal, and it will cause malnutrition on them. So we frequently organize a field visit to capture cases study and also provide training to social mobilizer on monitoring assessment and also help those children in need. So for me, I'm recently involved in boosting human capital through school feeding program. So our work actually contribute to the SDG 2, in particular to achieving zero hunger. And I'm very grateful to be a part of this volunteer program to achieving zero hunger with my mates.
If we talk about zero hunger, it seems necessary to understand the root of zero hunger. So, Miss Lee, I would like to know your opinion about the factor contributing toward hunger.
Sure. First and foremost, as a staff member of the World Food Programme, I have carried out a range of activities aimed at addressing global hunger and promoting food security. For example, in the past, the World Food Programme has been active in the Democratic Republic of Congo to address food insecurity and provide to those in need. So, for your information, the Democratic Republic of Congo is one of the world's poorest countries. And earlier in this year, the United Nations has estimated that 43% of all Congolese below the hunger line in a crisis that is only expected to. So, furthermore, IFA Congo has also proved that hunger and poverty are closely related by describing a situation where we often see that these two situations occur simultaneously in rural areas, especially in low-income countries. This is because poverty results in insufficient resources for basic human needs, such as water and food. So, even if there is enough food supply, people usually do not have the financial resources to obtain enough and nutritious food. This situation also results in a lack of access to essential services such as education, employment, and healthcare opportunities. And lack of education means a lack of knowledge, and in this case, individuals cannot access to a stable and well-paying job. This will create a cycle of poverty across generations in these societies, as they are also unable to provide a better life and economic status for their children. So, moving to my second point, the World Food Programme addresses social injustice as one of the underlying causes of world hunger and food insecurity. Social injustice occurs when an individual or group treats another individual or group unfairly, resulting in various disadvantages for the individual or group. In fact, social injustice is closely related to poverty. This is because social injustice such as racial and gender discrimination will limit opportunities such as employment and education for certain society, and this will contribute to poverty. And we can see the link between social injustice and hunger based on nationally representative quantification, such as the India Human Development Survey. This survey shows that in many countries, especially in poor and backward nations, women often eat the least and the last. It also found that in about a quarter of Indian households, women are expected to have their meals after men finish eating. When women eat their meals after men, they usually consume the leftover food of low quality than if men and women are eating together at the same time. According to Indian Human Development Survey data, it also shows that women who live in households where women eat last are more likely to underweight than women who live in households where they do not eat less. And besides, women often face many forms of discrimination throughout the life course. This includes sex selection, the inability to attend school, disapproval of working outside the home, limited decision-making power, and control over money. And this is all due to the traditional thinking that woman is only responsible for household chores and also childcare. As a result, women usually don't have financial resources and equal opportunity compared to men in obtaining food, and this will leading to hunger in those marginalized society. Lastly, a significant contributor to global hunger is the large amount of food that goes to waste at various stages of the supply chain, from production to consumption. The consumption patterns of some people, especially in rich countries, will lead to the wastage of food and resources, which will contribute to world hunger. This is because high consumption rates will result in excessive resource usage, such as land. Land is essential in the context of agriculture and food production. Access to arable land enables communities to grow crops and sustain their livelihoods. So, according to an article titled A New Era of World Hunger, the Global Food Crisis Analyzed, this article has described how consumption pattern will cause the food crisis because high-income consumers often dominate the distribution of the globe's food. They also consume more food and desire a large quantity of products such as meat and dairy, which require a large quantity of food grain and also land for grazing. This situation will lead to resource depletion and has a ripple effect, especially in countries that are already hit hardest by hunger, poverty, and also climate change. So, in conclusion, I believe that understanding these causes enables us to identify effective ways to zero hunger worldwide. That's all from me. Thank you.
So, Miss Vivian, as we know that you have a lot of experience in this field, I would like to hear your point of view about the consequence of world hunger.
Okay, so according to my volunteering experience, I realized that hunger have a far-reaching effect on individuals, community, and even our nations. And it will not only affect us physically, but also mentally at the same time. So I believe that most of you here have ever heard that humans can live up to 2 months without eating. However, after a day or 2 days without eating, our body will enter a condition which is known as starvation mode. And this will lead to one of the most noticeable physical effects of hunger in adults, which is weight loss. And this is the main causes and also the main symptom of malnutrition. So malnutrition is a condition which brought on by insufficient nutrients in one's diet. An example of malnutrition is iron deficiency, and this iron deficiency it will lead to anemia, and this is a typical outcome of malnutrition. Anemic individuals they will experience fatigue, weaknesses, and also paleness, and they may have difficulty when concentrating while doing their daily tasks. So this physical effect will affect their individual's overall well-being and also their ability to function normally in their daily life. And also at the same time, it will increase the risk of developing infections and disease. So this can be proved by the fact that we will usually hear there is always a spread of certain viruses in the slum area. And this is difficult to control due to their weak immune system. And for my second point, it will be mentally. So besides, hunger will also have far-reaching implications and impact on our mental health being. So poor mood and also food eating can spiral into a vicious cycle. If a person do not have a healthy diet, they can experience a drop in mood, and this drop in mood can make them don't want to eat. So studies have shown that when an individual eat inadequate amounts of food or does not receive a balanced diet, they can become irritable, anxious, and also even depressed. And this feeling often leads to the symptoms of depression. So hunger will also have significant mental health consequences particularly on children. So malnourished children they may experience cognitive delays or even difficulty on concentrating and also behavior problems since they are young. And if this kind of situation persists, it will lead to serious health consequences in the future. So for many people in the nation that are most impoverished, their anxiety and stress will come from hunger. So most of the adults don't have enough food to feed themselves, but it will make them feel even worse when they witness their children going hungry. So according to the data from American Academy of Pediatrics, it shows that mothers with school-age children who face hunger are more likely to have PTSD, which is post-traumatic stress disorder and depression. And for my last point, as what I previously stated, the third effect will be social and economic effect. So hunger's effect go beyond individuals and families. During a hunger crisis, communities and even entire country may suffer more. So as we all know, conflict will result in hunger, right? But on the other hand, hunger can also lead to conflict. So when there is a shortage of food, competition of limited resources become intense. And individuals, community, and even nations, they will compete for access to food and water. And this competition might give rise to conflict. And besides, hunger can also affect the social and economic development of a nation and also country. So malnourished people they may suffer from weakened immune system and reduce their energy level. Hence, in the workplace, this can lead to lower work capacity and decrease their productivity. So at the same time, it will also increase the healthcare cost of a country since their government must allocate resources and also divert funds to address health issues related to malnutrition. So we can draw that the conclusion that hunger will have a lot of negative consequences. Therefore, we must opt to combat it as best as we can do by taking appropriate action. So that's all from me.
Miss Amira, I'm curious to know, did you agree with the consequence that Miss Vivian has stated, or do you think there is no other consequence that the other consequence that being held? Salah.
I completely agree with all that Miss Vivian says, but please allow me to add other repercussions that could occur if full hunger continues. As far as I am concerned, interconnected global challenge is also one of the effects. Hunger is related to environmental issue because unsustainable agriculture practice contribute to climate change, resulting in a complicated web of challenge that require comprehensive solution. Aside from that, it also affects educational barriers. This is because malnourished youngsters often struggle to study and concentrate in school. This barrier to schooling reduce their future career chance, maintaining a cycle of limited opportunities and money. That's all from me.
Miss Izati, I wonder, is there any obstacle that have to be overcome to achieve these goals?
Of course, there are challenges that we must overcome. So actually, there are three challenges that I want to talk today. The first challenges that I want to talk is climate change. First and foremost, we all know that climate change, such as heat wave, heavy downpours, flood, tsunami, and many more, are the main challenges for farmers or agriculturalists, as it is a natural disaster that we can't prevent it from happening, as it is powers beyond our control. But we can't deny extreme weather is a driver of world hunger in certain countries. Why I say it like this? Because when climate change happens, this will make it very difficult and harder for farmers to grow their food. Thus, this will lead to hungry as they didn't get agriculture product. We can conclude the first challenges with information from US Mission Italy in 2022, which is the climate crisis is a crisis of a natural disasters of floods and storms and heat wave, but it also directly leads to a food security crisis. It makes it much more harder to feed people. Next challenge is inequality. This aspect is actually very broad, as there are inequality in gender, social, economic, and politics, but I will narrow it to inequality in power. Hunger and malnutrition are typically experienced by the social, economic, and political groups that are least powerful, whether they are living in impoverished countries, distant rural areas, or in wealthy states like cities, as members of marginalized communities. People with no or least power need to fight to survive to obtain what they need and vice versa. In 22, Van Clayson and Miller stated that power is defined as the degree of control over material, human, intellectual, and financial resource exercise in the social, economic, and political relations between individuals and groups. So from this, we can summarize that power may be an abstract concept, but its effects are concrete to us we live in a simple life. In food system, power is exercised by different actors in different ways and in different spaces. In this case, allows agri-food companies to influence the price of food and food additive and the equality of the supply through the concentration of capital and market share. They can even influence, implement, and block food policies through government agencies, international organizations, or public-private partnership, then use their intellectual and organizational resources to shape, debate, and mobilize public opinion or through individual authority over household spending and family food decisions. Last but not least is poverty. Millions of people in developing nations like Yemen, Somalia, Syria, Nigeria, and many more simply cannot afford the land or farming materials they need to grow or obtain access to wholesome food due to the unequal distribution of income and scarcity of resources in these areas. This says that some countries or places only depends on their agriculture product as their source of income in their life. Thus, when extreme climate change happens, as I mentioned above, this may affect their farming. For example, when droughts prevent farmers from irrigating, they can sometimes completely destroy their gardens and crops. It's a cyclic issue as well because chronic hunger results in poor energy and diminished mental and physical functioning, which impedes one's ability to work or learn. This consequently result in ongoing hunger and poverty. Furthermore, this may also result in a lack of income in the family that causes them not to be able to afford to buy food. We can confirm this from the No Hunger Project news by saying that millions live with hunger and malnourishment because they simply cannot afford to buy enough food, cannot afford nutritious food, or cannot afford the farming supplies they need to grow enough good food of their own. Hunger can be viewed as a dimension of extreme poverty. It is often called the most severe and critical manifestation of poverty. That's all from me. Thank you.
As we already know about the causes of this issue, let's shift our focus on the strategy to achieve zero hunger goals. Miss Amira, can you share with us about the strategy that you believe can pave the way to achieve these goals?
Thank you, moderator, for the question. I'm personally think that there are numerous approaches to achieving zero hunger, as is well known, but which one are the most practical beneficial in this day and age of technological advancement? Yes, the answer for me is only technology. There are several strategies to use technology to end world hunger, some of which include innovative education tools, blockchain transparency, and precision agriculture. But for today's forum, I just want to highlight about innovative education tools and precision agriculture. The first one is innovative education tools. This critical role of education in personal development and societal stability cannot be overstated. As Nelson Mandela, which is South African anti-apartheid activities and politician expressed, education serves as the great engine propelling individuals from various backgrounds to research unforeseen height. It's not merely about what we are given, but what we make out of the opportunities education provides. The undeniable link between the education and poverty education has stood the test of time. However, the global divide in the technological resources pose a challenge, particularly in developing countries where rurals lack internet access. Bringing this gap is essential to ensure that benefits of education are accessible to all. Enter innovative education like Mobile Station, a digital school in a box crafted by UNICEF Uganda, tailored for areas devoid of electricity and internet access. Mobile Station emerged a beacon of hope, enclosed In a portable suitcase, this multimedia tool features a solar power laptop, a low power projector and an audio system. Its purpose is clear: to support education in and out of school, thereby enhancing access to quality education. To truly revolutionize education, it is imperative to extend such solution in third world countries. Additionally, recognizing the unique challenge faced by less privileged communities, there is pressing needs to educate the older generation on how to better support their children. By combining technological innovation with target with education of effort, we can pave the way for a future where quality education knows no bounds, breaking the chain of poverty and fostering sustainable development. Next is precision agriculture. In the intricate tapestry of food production challenge, ranging from natural disaster to political conflicts, technology emerged as a power ally for farmers seeking to overcome obstacles and enhance crop yields. Precision agriculture, a revolutionary integrated crop management system, is at the forefront of the agriculture transformation. According to the latest data from World Bank 2022, limited food supply due to outdated farming, increased and unpredictable weather. Utilizing a sophisticated array of tools including sensors, drones and robots, precision agriculture enables farmers to tailor inputs precisely to the needs of individual areas within a farm field. This data such as soil composition, landscape characteristics, seed varieties, fertilizer, pesticide and irrigation methods. By meticulously monitoring these factors, farmers can optimize this quality and quantity of their crops. In the stealthy battle against pests and insects, precision agriculture serves as an early warning system. Swift detection through drones and sensors allow farmers to implement time control measures, preserving crop from potential devastation. The collected data not only aids in pest management but also provide valuable insight into how crops respond to fertilizer, varying weather patterns and water usage. The role of technology extends to farm management, where data from sensor and geographic information system (GIS) furnish insight for informed decision making. Farm manager can analyze trend over extended period, unraveling the intricate nuance of crop behavior and harvest disparities. Importantly, this technological invention empower farmers to make sustainable choice, improving crop yield without compromising environmental integrity. In essence, precision agriculture optimizes the harmonious integration of technology with farming practice, offering a nuanced, data-driven approach to address the complexity inherent in food production. As farmers navigate the dynamic challenge of agriculture landscape, these technological tools stand as beacons of innovation, guiding the way towards a more productive and sustainable future. In the pursuit of hunger-free world, precision agriculture and innovative education tools offer tangible solutions. Citing global organizations and technological experts, let's harness this technological to create a future where hunger is but a distant memory. Join the movement and let's make zero hunger reality together. That's all from me. Thank you.
Considering the obstacle and the potential solution that we already identified, so I would like to ask Ms. Izati about your expectation from the government in addressing and resolving this problem.
Okay, so for my previous part, we can see that three challenges that I said that just now is actually interconnected. So if we want to achieve zero hunger, we must solve one of them to break this change. So from government, I hope that they can trustworthy and equal to all people in all aspects. And I hope that government can also sponsor or fund teachers who have potential in agriculture to develop their daily employment without having racism.
To sum up, according to the UN Development Programme, the purpose of creating the Sustainable Development Goals was to produce a set of universal goals that meet the urgent environmental, political, and economic challenges facing our world. This discussion has provided comprehensive insight into the reason of world hunger, its effects, strategies to achieve zero hunger, and the obstacles that require to be overcome. So I hope this forum can increase awareness that will inspire collaborative effort, fostering a collective commitment to achieve zero hunger and creating a better world together. That's all for us. Thank you.